Papi Musk asked the USA to pay the bill. Brownsville PUB is very similar to the corruption case going on in Hidalgo County, and Social Security is going up for the first time in years. It is Friday, October 14th, 7:21 a.m. This is Good Morning Brownsville, and my name is Frankie Olivo. Now, I am a little bit late. I usually try to start the morning show at 7:15, but technology. I'm always trying to give you the best feed, the best sound. So I do apologize for coming on a few minutes late, but nonetheless, it is all for trying to perfect the craft. Now, our award-winning segment, the weather, is back. It is set to drop in temperature. So for those that enjoy wearing their Letterman jackets, their San Marcos, their ponchos, this might be the time to bring them out. For the city of Brownsville, it is looking at 93 degrees. Harlingen is at 94. The Cabrera boys, Jason, are looking at a cool 87 degrees. Again, there is isolated showers and thunderstorms that are expected for today. The highs will range in the upper 80s, and this will go up to the mid 90s throughout the island. And again, if you're hesitant, if you have been hesitant or considering washing your vehicle, you might be a little hesitant with these, with the percentage that it is set to rain. We do have a small percentage of rain starting on Friday. The highest being on Monday and Tuesday, when we're at 50 to 60%. If we look at the temperature, it is set to drop in the low 60s. We have to enjoy these few days in South Texas, where we only have the luxury of having a handful of days in which we're able to wear jackets, wear sweaters, and enjoy the cold. So it is set to rain starting today. A small percentage throughout the weekend, Monday and Tuesday, 50 to 60% chance of rain. Now, currently, throughout the world, Russia is in a war, and this war many figured and estimated to be quick. Many analysts did not think that this would go deep into the holidays. But what we have seen from this war has been that Russia is fighting the United States pretty much. What we have seen has been how the United States, has been heavily invested in this war and in their quest to prevent Russia, what once was the Soviet Union, to form into this large territory. And in today's time of day, where gaining resources, gaining territory, quickly leads a nation to gain enemies, but at the same time gain large amounts of power. And if we go back to the 50s and 60s, we will see how the Cold War is starting once again between the U.S. and Russia. But what we have seen from this war has been that Elon Musk, and again, Elon Musk seems to be in just about everything nowadays. We talked about earlier on Wednesday that he has his own fragrance, Elon Musk, the burnt hair, again. And he alludes to, hey, man, based on my last name, I should have thought of this years ago. And he did joke that he needs to sell this cologne perfume, this fragrance, in order to buy off Twitter for $44 billion. But you and I can agree, if he's not trying to send us off Boca Chica to Mars, if he's not creating these highways with the Boring Company, now he has his hands in the war. And a report came out earlier that he spoke with Putin in trying to be the mediator between these world countries, these superpowers. And what he has seen, Elon Musk, is that he is just heavily involved. We see how Starlink. Starlink is a form of internet that Elon Musk provides to rural countries. That is one of the mission for boring. Currently can be found in yachts and boats throughout the world. But what we have seen in Ukraine has been that Starlinks um, has kept Ukraine online. And we can talk about the importance of having internet. Now, nowadays it is essential. Growing up when I was in high school, that was a luxury. If you went to somebody's house and they had dial up, if they had cable internet, Roadrunner, now it's fiber. But back in the day, who can remember that? Back in the day, it was a luxury. Now we need it to make payments. Now we need it to watch Good Morning Brownsville. We need uh, being online on the internet for just about everything. We use it for social media. We use it to shop. We use it for purchase orders, for work purposes. We use the internet for just about everything. Well, Starlink, Elon Musk's company, he has close to $100 million in Ukraine right now operating. And this has been um, a two-edged sword because at one time, he did state that he doesn't want to pickle the beast, which is Putin. Now Putin has been using heavy artillery with Ukraine, and even talks of using nuclear weapons. And are we starting to see Elon Musk say, you know what, this is getting out of hand, and this is getting very, very expensive, very quickly? And the report did state that Elon Musk went on the record that he could not afford to keep the internet in Ukraine turned on. That Starlink has been a game changer in the war. But now, ladies and gentlemen, would it be in in the US's best interest to say, hey, we've lasted this long in the war. We need the internet to stay on longer. So is this a businessman, his tactic to say, I'm going to have you foot the bill, USA? I provided a service. Now it's your time to pay what you owe. Or be, you know what? I do not want to be in the middle of this. Putin is nobody to mess with. There are talks of nuclear weapons being used. We can all agree that that will be the end of many individuals, many societies. And just look at Japan with Hiroshima. It really affected their community, their country, and some are even feeling the impact ramifications from from that very issue. But is Elon Musk now giving the United States the bill? Should the United States keep paying for it? And again, once you're without internet, you're screwed. There's no outside communication to the outside world. So we have a sense that the United States is going to pay for this, and it's going to be very, very expensive. And who's going to benefit from it? Who's a smart businessman? Elon Musk. Again, a great businessman, a savvy businessman. He provides a service, he charges a certain fee, and then, hey, you got to pay the bill. And in a moment of crisis, it is not a time to pull out of these situations, because at the end of the day, having internet, especially in a war-torn country, is very, very important. The topic of discussion as of late has been PUB, and you and I know people. We have seen these uh, these outrageous statements. We saw firsthand how concerned citizens, elderly individuals, they came to speak to Telemundo, and they said, you know what, something's got to give. I can't pay for this electrical bill. And we have seen the comments posted online and many people, and we can feel the sentiment of the community that they're tired. They are tired of having to pay so much. So it is important for us to talk about what is transpiring in the city of Brownsville. Many community members were outraged to see that PUB will be having a behind-the-scenes tour of their facility, of their electrical system. That will take place October 21st at 8 a.m. At their headquarters. But if you look at the comments that was posted on this publication, on this invite to the community, many citizens are outraged. They're like, "Hey, man, pay us what you owe us, you rats, you thieves." And it got me thinking, have we seen something similar to this very same situation in which a big project was incorporated, which caused hardship for the citizens, and somebody benefited from it handsomely? Well, there is a current uh, trial that has been going on, and what we have seen in Hidalgo County is that the city of Weslaco, it had a water plant project of over $100 million, and what we have seen since the FBI went and raided and eventually charged businessmen, attorneys, city commissioners, county commissioners. You're talking about big shots. You're talking about heavy movers and shakers within Hidalgo County. One of them is AC Cuellar, who was a former Hidalgo County commissioner, and Cuellar and his family and his entourage, they dominated Hidalgo County politics for years. And here we have him being a big fish caught up in this corruption trial. And this corruption trial, it has shown that the contractors, the contractors received millions of dollars of contracts, and they gave kickbacks to board members, to city commissioners, and to county commissioners. It shows how the ones that were hurt the most were the citizens of Weslaco. Very similar, very similar to what is happening in the city of Brownsville. And this post caught my attention, and it reads, "It is not part of the bribery case, but the contracts awarded were wildly inflated, causing the city to spike water rates." Remember, this is in Weslaco, the water plant. Causing the city to spike water rates to amongst the highest in Texas to pay for them. It caused terrible hardship for citizens, some of whom had to choose between buying food and buying water. The case in Hidalgo County with the water plant of over $100 million mirrors the case and the very same issue that we're dealing with here in Brownsville. Now, am I accusing people of bribes? Absolutely not. What the audit does show is that there was mismanagement, that over $100 million was collected, and that the ones in charge, the one at the helm, the CEO, the mayor for the city of Brownsville, and other leadership, other individuals in the leadership position knew at one point that this facility in Brownsville was never going to take place. And what did they do? They kept on billing. They kept on sucking the well dry. Very similar to what is happening, the corruption scandal that is happening out of Hidalgo County with a water plant. And who can forget how the citizens were in outrage? They demanded answers. What have we heard from the city of Brownsville? We need time. We need to let these individuals time to make a statement. There are factual issues in that audit report. Was there alleged to have corruption in the city of Brownsville? If you ask the community members, the constituents, if you ask your neighbors, have you heard about what is going on with PUB? Many of them will say, hell yeah. And if you ask them, do you have faith in leadership? in your commissioners. They're going to say, well, no. It has come to a point that every time that there's a project involved that is worth hundreds of millions of dollars, what's the first thing that comes into our heads? Who's going to benefit from it? And we can talk about there was a bridge to nowhere that the port was involved at one time of building a second bridge to, I believe, to Matamoros. Build another bridge to Matamoros. $30 million was gone. Titan Tires here in Brownsville, the steel mill, the Tenasca plant, $100 million. The sports park, $60 million. The arena, if it would have passed, another $100 million. If the arena would have passed, it would have been the same thing all over again. You and I can agree that this smells funny. And if it quacks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, well, it must be a rat. Is the Hidalgo County water plant over $100 million case? Is it similar to Brownsville PUB Tenasca plant where it raised $100 million? You had commissioners, you had contractors, politicians, at the city and county level in Weslaco with corruption. Are we seeing the very same thing where mayors, where attorneys, where county judges, where commissioners currently sitting on the board, on the commission, are they involved? Are we seeing corruption in Hidalgo and in Brownsville? And if you haven't followed those cases, go to our Frankie Olivo page. I did post this regarding the case, and there's a link if you want to follow. Very, very similar cases that leaves us scratching our heads. Now, Social Security was enacted in a way to help individuals once they stopped working, once they were able to retire. And what we have seen throughout the United States, throughout the world, really has been that the cost of living has gone up. If you go to the grocery store, you pay more for eggs, butter, milk, your essential items that you get on a weekly basis. The prices have gone up. And the thing that we have been hearing from economists is that they don't anticipate these prices to drop back down. We have been seeing it also in gasoline. Gasoline for some short time dipped, and now it's spiking back up. Life is getting a lot more expensive. Social Security, when it was enacted, was with the understanding that the individuals would be able to have an income, kind of like a retirement, so to speak. It gave them money for their times that they put in at work. An individual needed a certain amount of time to be able to, morning, my man, have a great day. Needed time to be able, throughout time, what we have seen has been that the inflation rate has gone up. Our elderly individuals do live on a fixed income. And what we have seen has been that many are not able to afford consumer goods. Rent is also something that has spiked exponentially, and many individuals are struggling. Just yesterday, Social Security did announce that it will be increasing to the recipients 8.7% cost of living, which has been the highest in 40 years. Now, this percentage increase only amounts to $146. What we have seen has been that many individuals they depend wholeheartedly. They do not have other forms of income, and for many, Social Security has been a lifesaver. It is important for individuals to recognize that it is getting expensive. The cost of living is through the roof. Uh, everything, everything that you need to get by has gone up in price. And what we have seen as of late is that those individuals that suffer the most, that feel the pinch even harder, are our elderly. Speaking with my grandparents, they love to spoil one. She's always like, "Oh, bring me your shirts so I can press your shirts." I was like, "No, I'll just take them to a cleaner." She's like, "Okay, well, let me take them." So I'm like, "Okay." So I'll give her a few shirts. But one common thing that I have heard from her and other individuals and even clients has said, "I don't know how we're going to do it with all this recent spike in groceries. It has forced us to change the way we budget." Sundays usually is a time for family, and many individuals like to go out as a family. Many elderly people go to church on Sundays, and what do afterwards? Let's go have a pollito. Let's go have something to eat. These individuals living on fixed income were just awarded an increase in 8.7 percent, which amounts to $146 uh, give or take. Now, the interesting thing has been that individuals who have Social Security, who are even 65 years of age, the price for Medicare Part B dropped as well. Uh, Individuals were paying at one point $170 for the Part B premium, and everybody, depending on circumstances, and or if you had Medicare and Medicaid, what we have seen has been that individuals had to pay or have to pay the $170 from their Social Security. That gets taken away automatically. So individuals, families, elderly people here in the Rio Grande Valley, what we have heard has been, hey, the $170 that they take away from me, it's it's a lot, and there are options available to individuals that are able, again, depending on circumstances, depending on different types of plans, that there are plans available to them that will give them back a certain amount of money for their Part B. So there won't be deducted the full amount. Again, there are different plans for different clients with, depending on their circumstances. But nonetheless, Social Security is something that has not been looked at by the federal government, and for the first time in 7 years, I'm sorry, but for the first time in 40 years, for the first time in 40 years, the federal government will be adjusting to the cost of living. It's called COLA, cost of living adjustment, based on inflation. You and I can agree that the world is a lot more expensive. Gas, rent, rent is probably one of our biggest, um, I wouldn't say threats, but issues that many people have been dealing with. Apartments now are going up to $1,200. This has affected inflation, gas, cost of living has greatly affected our elderly. And even though the federal government did announce that they will be getting $146, it is something. And if I talk to my grandma, she said, "Hey, that's great, but more should be done because again, it is getting very, very expensive." And the benefit that individuals have of having Medicare, being 65 years of age, is that there are a lot of benefits in which they can um, apply for regarding their insurance, their care, regarding going to the primary care physicians, any specialists, and doctors. There are many great benefits uh, for uh, for individuals, and the big reasons why we encourage individuals to see the benefits that Medicare Advantage has. Original Medicare Part A and B, which is hospital and medical. Uh, there is there is a great benefit of having Medicare Advantage. It does combine, Part A and Part B. Uh, Prescription drugs are included in many of the coverages. Uh, the benefits also include having an allowance to go to the dentist, going to the eye doctor, having hearing aids. There's also even benefits of going to the gym. Here locally, I believe there are a few gyms. I need to double check on which ones, but there are gyms that accept accept these plans that offer Medicare Advantage benefits, and they are provided by different benefits and costs, and mainly, of course, this is all based on location and service area. Social Security is gone up $146 for the first time in 40 years. Part B, those individuals on Medicare, the Part B premium was reduced from 170. Now it will be 164 with 90 cents. The US government is trying to bring relief to our elderly, increasing Social Security, lowering the Part B premium. But you and I can agree that while this is great, there will be individuals that still aren't able to benefit from it. We encourage our community to see what benefits are out there. If you or your loved one uh, have um, have issues that you've been dealing with, whether you need to go to the dentist, your doctor, you have needs to get glasses. Uh, October 15th, starting tomorrow, October 15th through December 7th, the Medicare open enrollment uh, season starts. This is the time where individuals could make changes to their coverage starting on January the 1st, 2023. If you'd like more information, if you know a loved one who has any questions or who would simply like to see what options are available to them, make sure you call Olivo Insurance Group at 956-382-4638. Again, having insurance, having coverage now is very, very important and essential. Um, Call the Olivo Insurance Group for any further questions. And that, my friend, is the rest of the story. PUB, uh, PUB to NASCA deal is very similar to the Hidalgo County corruption scandal that is currently going on or is currently on trial right now. If you haven't been following, I will provide the link. Make sure you follow. Uh, Very similar in cases. $100 million water plant in Weslaco. We had county commissioner, a city commissioners, attorneys, consultants, engineers. At Bronzo PUB, we have attorneys, county judge, mayor, contractors, consultants. They mirror. I'm not alleging that no bribery was taking place in Bronzo, but if you ask the community what they think, they all say son una bola de ratas. And Papi Musk finally fed up with the United States and said, "Hey, you pay the bill, carnal." Currently, right now, Papi Musk's Starlink is keeping Ukraine online. They fear that they will be going bankrupt. They're already at $1 million. Elon Musk said, "Hey, US, it's your time. It's your time to pay." And Social Security is going up. The federal government did raise for the first time in 40 years 8.7%, which accumulates to $146. They also, for our individuals who are 65 years or older or have a certain disability, they did see their Part B premium drop from 170 to 164 with 90 cents. The Olivo Insurance Group at 956-382-4638 is available for any questions that you or your loved one may have. Uh, the enrollment period, the Medicare enrollment period, the annual enrollment period starts tomorrow, October the 5th through December the 7th. During this time, individuals are able to make changes for their coverage starting on January 2023. Make sure you call the Olivo Insurance Group if you have any questions regarding healthcare coverage. 956-382-4638. Thanks so much for your time and your attention. It is Friday, October 14th, TGIF, 7:51 a.m. Have a great weekend. Hope to see you here on Monday. God bless.